The shadow of the Tyrant falls, and the name Tyrannosaurus Rex echoes with the promise of a brutal end. Its target, a colossal, gentle-looking herbivore. The hunt seems a foregone conclusion. But how did this duck-billed dinosaur, Edmontosaurus, actually fight back against the king? Forget the image of a helpless victim scurrying from the monster. The fossil record tells a far more dramatic story. A tale of a survivor armed with immense weight, a bone-breaking tail, and the unbreakable power of the herd. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from, and which prehistoric titan captures your imagination. Now, step into the ancient past and reveal the secrets of a vanished era. The air is heavy, thick with the smell of damp earth and decaying ferns. Towering conifers and strange broadleaf trees form a dense canopy that filters the sunlight into shifting patterns on the forest floor. You hear a sound, not a roar, but a deep, resonant call that seems to vibrate in your very bones. Ever wonder what it truly felt like to stand in the shadow of a living giant? The name science has given it feels almost insultingly simple. Edmontosaurus, the lizard from Edmonton. It lacks the thunderous ring of Tyrannosaurus or the sharp, aggressive edge of Velociraptor. It sounds mundane, like a geographical footnote, a quiet entry in a dusty ledger. But the name is a mask, a whisper that conceals a story of incredible resilience and evolutionary triumph. Here, in the fading light of the late Cretaceous, you stand before a creature that stared down the most terrifying predator the world has ever known and refused to vanish. You feel the ground tremble not with aggression, but with the steady, rhythmic weight of a colossal herd on the move. These are the unsung titans, the true survivors of Hell Creek. Their story isn't etched in the fossilized fury of a hunter's tooth, but in the quiet genius of their design and the sheer, overwhelming power of their numbers. This wasn't just prey. This was the living, breathing landscape against which the Tyrant King waged its daily war. Hollywood loves the killers, but the fossil record tells a more nuanced tale. A story where the hunted are just as compelling, just as complex, and in many ways, far more successful than their famous predators. The Edmonton lizard is a testament to the fact that survival isn't always about being the strongest or the fiercest. Sometimes, it's about being the smartest, the most adaptable, and the most determined to see another sunrise. The creature before you is a living mountain, a moving wall of muscle and bone easily the length of a city bus, and weighing more than an elephant. Its hide, a mosaic of scales that you can almost feel the texture of, seems to stretch taut over a colossal frame. Your eyes are drawn to its most famous feature, the broad, flattened snout that gives it the duckbill moniker. But this is no soft, pliable beak for dabbling in water. It's a powerful, keratin-sheathed tool, a biological set of garden shears perfect for snipping tough cycad leaves and stripping branches bare. The real marvel, the secret to its success, is hidden from view. Inside that beak lies one of nature's most ingenious inventions, a dental battery. Imagine not one row of teeth, but hundreds upon hundreds of them, packed together so tightly they form a single, vast grinding surface. As the outer teeth wore down from chewing on fibrous plants, new ones were constantly erupting from below to replace them. It was a self-sharpening, perpetually regenerating food processor, an evolutionary masterpiece that allowed it to chew and digest vegetation far too tough for other herbivores. This was a system more efficient than any mammals. You see the powerful hind legs, pillars of strength capable of supporting its immense weight and delivering a staggering kick. You notice the deep, muscular tail, stiffened with a lattice of bony tendons, acting as a perfect counterbalance and a formidable defensive whip. This isn't just an animal. It's a perfectly engineered survival machine. The world this biological marvel calls home is one of suffocating lushness. You are standing at the very end of the age of dinosaurs, around 66 million years ago. The air is warm, thick, and wet, clinging to your skin like a second layer. This is the famous Hell Creek Formation of North America. Not a dry, dusty wasteland, but a vast coastal floodplain, crisscrossed by lazy rivers and choked with swamps. Imagine the Florida Everglades, but on a titanic scale and populated by giants. Towering conifers, ancient relatives of magnolias, and sprawling ferns create a near impenetrable wall of green. This is a world of plenty. For a 2-ton herbivore with a mouth designed for constant consumption, this is an endless buffet, a botanical paradise. Every branch, every leaf, every tough-stemmed shrub is a source of fuel for its massive body. But this lushness is deceptive. Paradise has its serpent. Every shadow in the deep woods could hold a threat. The murky water of the swamps could conceal danger. The very air, so full of the sounds of life, the buzzing of ancient insects, the calls of strange birds, can suddenly fall silent. And that silence is the most terrifying sound of all. It's a silence that means a predator is near. You watch the herd now, and you see a subtle shift. Heads lift from their grazing. A low, rumbling vocalization passes from one animal to the next. They are alert, their senses tuned to the slightest sign of peril in this beautiful, treacherous world, where life and death are separated by a single, misplaced step. The moment of tension passes. The perceived threat fades back into the ambient noise of the Cretaceous forest, and the herd's singular focus returns. You watch as one of the giants lowers its massive head, its broad beak meeting a thick-stemmed plant with a sharp, decisive crack. This isn't the gentle nibbling of a deer. This is industrial-scale harvesting. The outer beak, tough as a turtle's shell, acts as the first stage, cropping and pulling huge swaths of vegetation into its mouth. Then, the real magic begins. You can hear a low, constant grinding sound, like millstones at work. This is the sound of the dental battery in action. The complex jaw mechanics of Edmontosaurus were unlike anything alive today. Its upper jaw could flex outwards as it chewed, creating a powerful side-to-side grinding motion that shredded even the most stubborn plant fibers into a digestible pulp. This was a creature that didn't just eat its world, it processed it. Think of it not as a cow grazing in a pasture, but as a living combine harvester, relentlessly moving through the landscape, converting biomass into energy. This incredible efficiency is what allowed it to grow to such a colossal size and thrive in such numbers. It could unlock the nutrients in plants that were inedible to its contemporaries, giving it a crucial advantage. The constant need to fuel this massive engine meant its life was a perpetual quest for food, a slow, deliberate march that carved paths through the ancient forests. This relentless harvesting of the landscape is not a solitary pursuit. You realize the single animal you were watching is merely one brushstroke in a living, moving masterpiece. As you pull your focus back, the scale of the gathering becomes breathtaking. The herd stretches to the horizon, a river of life flowing through the ancient floodplain, their calls echoing through the humid air. There are hundreds, perhaps thousands of them. This is a mobile city, a society built on a colossal scale. Their combined weight literally reshaping the land they traverse. How do we know this wasn't just a chance encounter? The Earth itself has kept their secrets. Paleontologists have unearthed vast bone beds, fossilized graveyards, where entire herds, caught by a sudden flood or other catastrophe, perish together. These are not random jumbles of skeletons. They are demographic snapshots, capturing adults, adolescents, and juveniles all side by side. A clear and poignant sign of a deeply social existence. You can almost hear the symphony of their society, a constant undercurrent of low, rumbling vocalizations that act as a social glue, keeping the group connected, signaling contentment, warning of danger, and reinforcing family bonds. Within this sprawling community, you see a deliberate and intelligent structure. The smaller, more vulnerable juveniles are kept towards the center, shielded from the perimeter by a walking wall of multi-ton adults. This is a fortress of flesh, a collective defense strategy where the safety of the next generation is paramount. Their greatest strength wasn't the power of a single animal's kick or tail whip, but the overwhelming, undeniable power of their unity. An individual might be a target, but the herd was a force of nature. That sudden silence you felt earlier returns, but this time it is heavy, absolute. The low hum of the herd ceases. From the tree line, a nightmare emerges, stepping from the shadows into the filtered sunlight. Tyrannosaurus rex. Its head is the size of an armchair, and its gaze is one of pure, predatory calculation. You see the legendary banana-sized teeth, not just for biting, but for crushing bone. In countless films and illustrations, this is the moment the prey scatters in mindless panic, a chaotic buffet for the king of killers. But the great river of life does not break and scatter. Instead, the herd shifts, turning into the threat. The adults form a living barricade, their immense bodies creating a wall of muscle and hide between the predator and the vulnerable young at the center. This is not a helpless victim awaiting its fate. The Edmontosaurus is a challenger. Its tail, a thick cable of muscle and bone, could be whipped with enough force to shatter bone. Its sheer bulk made it a dangerous target, and its powerful hind legs could deliver a kick with enough force to crush a predator's ribs. This isn't just speculation. The fossil record holds the scars of these epic confrontations. Paleontologists have found Edmontosaurus vertebrae with healed bite marks that perfectly match the teeth of a T-Rex. This is the ultimate proof. An individual was attacked, survived, and lived long enough for its bones to mend. This was the true nature of the evolutionary arms race. A constant, brutal dance between the ultimate hunter and an equally determined survivor. The confrontation ends not with a bloody spectacle, but with a strategic retreat by the predator. The herd is simply too large, too cohesive, too dangerous to attack head-on. How can we be so certain of these ancient dramas, of the texture of its skin, or the power in its tail? Because Edmontosaurus did something remarkable. It left behind ghosts. Not just skeletons, but exceptionally preserved mummy fossils, where skin, tendons, and scales were fossilized along with the bone. These incredible natural time capsules have revolutionized our understanding. For over a century, scientists pictured these hadrosaurs with smooth, leathery skin, like a whale. The mummies revealed a beautiful, complex mosaic of scales, proving they were far more reptilian in appearance than once imagined. We once thought of them as slow, swamp-bound creatures, but the powerful musculature suggested by these fossils paints a picture of a dynamic, active animal, capable of moving with surprising speed on land. Some specimens even show evidence of a fleshy comb on their heads, a feature we never would have guessed from bones alone. These discoveries swept away the old myths of a helpless, passive herbivore. The lizard from Edmonton, once dismissed as little more than tyrant fodder, was revealed to be a highly evolved, sophisticated survivor. Its legacy is not simply to be the final meal on a T-Rex's menu, but to be the foundation of one of the last great dinosaur ecosystems on Earth, a testament to the enduring power of adaptation and community. As the last light of the Cretaceous sun begins to fade, casting long shadows across the floodplain, the great herd continues its endless journey. Their resonant calls a final, powerful chorus at the end of an era. The story of life is etched not only in the ferocity of the hunter, but in the profound, quiet resilience of the hunted, who endured until the very end.